Gordon McKnight, a Protestant from Bangor, is just about to head to Miami to complete his conversion to Judaism. What do you feel when you see the Israeli flag being hoisted in different Loyalist areas here in Northern Ireland? Do you share this kind of Protestant support of Israel? Because you do have a badge that you can get in some Union Jack shops.
I think that says it all, really.
Oh, okay.
Whenever I see the Israeli flag being hoisted anywhere, really, I tend to feel an immense amount of pride. It's strange. I'm not an Israeli, but I actually feel more Israeli than anything. I feel more Israeli than British.
Would you go and live in Judah and Samaria, for example?
Yeah.
In a settlement?
Yeah, I would call it a town, but you can call it a settlement. It's what most people call it. I was in Israel for Shavuot 2 years ago, and we visited a town near Ariel, and I thought it was a shame that the Jewish people had to live surrounded by fences and protected by the army. I thought it was very unfortunate.
הננו לאשר בזה כי הבחור גורדון מקנייט למד יהדות והוא יודע הלכות שבת ויום טוב יותר משנה. Wow. So it happened. You're full-on Jew.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm delighted. Yeah, everything feels different.
You said that you would love to move to Israel and live not necessarily in Israel but in what most of the world regard as occupied territories. And you would be happy to live there as a settler.
As Tesco say, every little helps. Every extra person helps. Every extra family helps.
This is how you want to fulfill your Judaism?
Well, the Arabs have only been there a very short period of time. And that is why I do not recognize a Palestinian people, nation, nothing. They are a political invention invented after the 1967 war.
But you, from Bangor, or somebody from South Africa, or somebody from the United States, has more right on the land than they do? You don't find it a contradiction?
You know, I can see why they would be upset, but, you know...
Upset? It's kind of an understatement, upset.
Yeah, it's a bit of an understatement, perhaps, but, you know, my advice would be, you had a nice holiday, time to go home. That would be my advice.
Gordon McKnight, who is now Avraham ben Avraham, you, who just converted to Judaism, coming from Bangor, is entitled to sit in that land, and they who are there, even you claim 3 generations, they would claim a little bit more, they should go, because they're on vacation. I mean, it actually saddens me that this is your understanding of Judaism, and this is your understanding of how you want to help the Jewish people. You know, Rabbi Akiva, who is the biggest rabbi of all time, yeah, Rabbi Akiva said, "Ve'ahavta lereacha kamocha klal gadol b'Torah." There's only one big rule in the Torah: love thy neighbor. And that said Rabbi Akiva, the greatest Jewish rabbi of all time. So how from love thy neighbor, doesn't say love your Jewish neighbor, just love thy neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah? The people in Hebron don't love their neighbors. They oppress their neighbors. They torture their neighbors. They humiliate their neighbors. They sometimes kill their neighbors. How can you justify that? How can you want to live like that?
It's the Arab side that is causing all the tension. The Jewish side has done, I believe, more than it could honestly be asked of to do. It has removed roadblocks, and it's allowed permits to travel, and it allows their banks to function, and all of this. I don't think any more can be asked from Israel.